Hi, Daphne.
Hi, Natalie.
Oh, that was nice. Thanks. I love that. Welcome to the PLT podcast.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's actually amazing to have you here. I've been waiting to get you on the podcast for a while.
Yay, it's my first time.
It's your first time on a podcast. Thank you for choosing to come on to PLT.
Of course.
What made you decide I'm going to do my first podcast with PLT?
Well, I've checked out the brand so much, and I was one of the first influencers. So
You were.
I just feel like it's so much women empowerment. I felt comfortable. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm going to give them the first podcast ever that I've ever done.
So this is an exclusive.
Exactly.
And you mentioned, I actually remember when I first started working at PLT, I remember you from day one. I was always like, Daphne Joy has posted on Instagram.
Oh.
We've got to get that on Instagram.
That's so sweet.
It's so nice to know how close you are to the brand.
Yeah.
So we really want to get to know you today and kind of your life and your journey and, where you are now. So can we start by talking a little bit about your background and kind of where you've come from and where you grew up?
Sure. So I grew up in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're surprising me already. I can't wait. You've got loads of juice to tell me.
So I grew up in the Philippines. I was there till I came to America when I was 6.
Wow.
And I'm Filipino Puerto Rican. And I just started modeling when I was 16. Yeah. And I was lying that I was 18.
Really?
Yeah.
My
I
God.
was just always a really independent woman. I just wanted to get out there. And so I've just been in LA doing my thing ever since.
So how was it modeling at 16 years old, lying, how did you do that? Tell me a bit about what it was actually like.
It was a big world.
Yeah.
A big, different, scary world, but I was just ready for it. I've always loved fashion, TV, film, and it was exciting. So, and it was fun. And I met a lot of really great people, but I was always really mature for my age, so I composed myself like an adult at all times, all the time. So it was great.
And what was it like moving over to LA? Because I guess it's a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah,
how was that for
definitely.
you?
I didn't speak English till I was in 5th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was really shy about my accent, and I was really shy because I would have broken English all the time. So I didn't speak. My mom always said you were Filipino one day and then you were completely American the next.
Wow.
It
just
was
that.
night and day. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't actually know that about you. That's so interesting. So how did you how was it growing up in LA, in that difference for you?
It was fine. Everybody's really nice. I mean, California is just such a chill vibe, LA vibe. It was fine, really.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here.
You're here.
Yeah.
And you also dabbled in acting as well, haven't you? You're an actress.
I would like to say that I'm the worst actress of
No
all time.
way. No way. I saw you in Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about that. You played a mermaid, and
Yeah.
let me say, if you have not seen that scene, you need to go and watch it.
Yeah, it was
I
a hot
actually rewatched
scene.
it the other day, and you
Aw.
look incredible.
Thank you.
How was it being part of such a big movie?
That was one of my biggest roles, I
Yeah.
guess. It was great. It was the first time that I had worked practically 17 hours plus. We would have to be on set at 5 p.m., but we wouldn't shoot till 5 a.m. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
But-
rough.
Yeah,
That
but we
must have
met
been hard work.
yeah, Johnny Depp was there. All the girls were going crazy over him. There was so much hair and makeup time, and by so much I mean I think 6 hours worth of hair and makeup. Yeah.
Wow.
I totally remember that. It was a really great experience, but it's Disney, so the set was amazing. It was shot at Universal, and there's just so much that goes behind a movie, every little detail. And I was considered the mermaid who couldn't swim. So
The mermaid that couldn't swim.
Yeah.
Okay. What
that was
is that?
kind of
Tell me about that.
the joke on set that I was the mermaid who couldn't swim. I was the one that was chauffeured by lifeguard. He was pushing me
Oh my God, I love that.
It was so bad, but I kind of have a fear of the ocean and
Really?
water and stuff. Yeah, whenever we go on vacations and stuff, I'm in the water enjoying my life, but with a life vest.
Yeah.
I look crazy, but
Oh my God, so how was that filming that? I'm not surprised the guys had to sort of support
Yeah.
you, because that's a big scary moment. How did you overcome it?
I just had a lot of help around
Support.
me. Yeah, so it was fine. The girls were fine. They were just dying laughing every day. We were just dying laughing about it. But
How did you actually get that job? How did you book that?
there was a casting, and they were looking for interesting, exotic faces and things like that. And my agent at the time was like, I think you'd be great for this. Just go on in there. And I remember even seeing like behind the scenes footage from that casting, and I was like so shy. Like I was just like in the corner in my bathing suit, like, oh, look at all these beautiful girls. Like I will never ever get this job. Yeah. And then it was my turn to like swim and like do this like seductive scene, and like the next day I got a call like, oh, we chose you. And I was like, what?
Oh my God. So you actually had to swim in the audition?
I did, but it was like 3 feet.
Oh, okay. So it's like the fear was, wasn't as much there.
It wasn't like dark. It was like a pool, and it was like comfortable.
Wow.
But the actual set looked like a full-on situation from like a mystical island. So it was more intimidating.
So have you done any other acting since that?
No.
Are you focusing purely on modelling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Modeling, Instagram, social media.
And you've got a huge Instagram.
Thank you.
1.4 million followers.
Yay.
Wow. How did that kind of come about? That's a lot of people, okay?
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you grow that following?
I think I got on Instagram, honestly, at the right time.
Yeah.
And I've never, bought followers or any of that. I don't believe in that stuff. I feel like organic connections with people is like always the right way to go. And I don't know, it just started growing. I was just posting, and like people were into it. So I kind of got the groove of it. I like to mix like fashion with sexy, with wholesome, with family, with friends, and not be too much of one thing. Yeah. Like I want to be like overall,
a nice mixture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's now a career for you. It kind of just started out organically, like you said, but it's now a career. So I guess it must be really full on having a full-time job on Instagram, let's say, as an influencer. How is that for you?
Well, I'm a mom also.
You're also a mom.
Yeah,
so you're juggling 3 big jobs. Tell me about that.
So it's like I definitely wear many hats. I'm like, I'm a cook. I'm a therapist for my son. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally mommy life.
Yeah.
And then I just like take my little wand and I'm like, whoo. Then I'm like Daphne Joy. And I'm like hair and makeup and glam. And like I do all my photos and interact with people online. And now I'm designing and I love traveling. So I make time for that all the time. And it's good. As long as you keep a good balance, I think anything is possible. I think if you're just a balanced person, you can make your dreams come true and have everything.
And you also have an incredible body. Let's just stop and talk about that for a second, okay? So not only are you a model, not only are you a mom, not only are you a businesswoman, you're looking after your body. So I think every listener would be dying to know, how do you actually do it? I need to know.
Well, to be honest with you, before I had Sire, my son, I was like 130 pounds. Okay. Which is, what is that in
in
UK?
Stone, like we do stones, don't we? So I'm so, I really don't know what that means, but
really?
I'm sure you've always looked incredible, whatever.
Yeah. And when I got pregnant at my heaviest, it was 180 pounds. So you can imagine that's a 50-pound weight gain. And I just was like, that's it for me. Like, I'm just done. Like, this is my body, But I hired a personal trainer who like specialized in like, mommy snapbacks, and she was great. And I remember I couldn't even do a sit-up. Like I was like, I couldn't even do a crunch. Like my stomach muscles were like so weak. Yeah. And I was persistent. I was determined. I wanted to be like a hot, healthy mom for my son. Yeah. And I just kept at it until I could do like 50,000 sit-ups.
Wow.
So
you said about snapping back, that's kind of like a pressure for mums, isn't it? Did you feel that pressure that like, okay, I've got to snap back within a time frame? Or
me personally, I don't like to really be in a space that's too like muddled. Like I'm an instant gratification person, and I like to see progress and be productive. So I do put that pressure on myself for sure. So I had to do it.
And I mean, it's worked.
Thanks.
It's definitely worked.
Thank you.
What's your typical workout? Like, what tips would you give to people for workouts?
Sure. So it all starts with your diet. Not too many carbs or sugars. And I just feel like there's all those extreme diets right now, like keto and like vegan, vegetarian and all that stuff. And that's great. Like, that's totally amazing. I could never do it. I'm not like a real dieter, but like I've always stayed away from sugars, carbs, fatty foods. Like I don't really eat a lot of fast foods and things like that. So that helps with, you know, getting your, you know, body goals like quicker by what you consume.
Definitely.
So a typical day in the gym, like if somebody were to come to the gym with me, I would start with like 20 minutes of cardio and get the heart rate up. And then we would focus on a muscle group of the day. So let's say like legs. And we would just do like, you know, reps, legs, all legs. And then I like to do full body every time.
Yeah.
Then I transfer to like abs, and then I do my arms. Wow. And then I go to the steam room,
and that's the secret, guys.
And then I go pick up my baby. Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe how much you're juggling. That's incredible. So tell me a little bit about your baby. You've got a beautiful baby boy. Yay, and you actually had him with 50 Cent.
I did.
So tell me a little bit about how that's changed your life, becoming a mom.
Becoming a mom has been the best thing ever. I just feel like I'm a more responsible, organized human being. Yeah. And I feel like I am not just like the type of person that's like, okay, I'll do that tomorrow. Okay, I'll do that next week. No, we have to do it now because I'm free from 2 to 5. Yeah. This is all the time that I have, and I have to go pick up my son. I got to do this. Like I'm so responsible with like just meeting my deadlines. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just made me a much better person and like more empathetic. Like, you know, like really caring about his feelings. Like 50 hates that about me.
Really?
He doesn't want me to like, he calls it like babying him too much. But I'm like, just because he's a boy doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings. You know, like I'm very like keen to like his, you know, little faces. And I'm like, okay, he's bothered or he's really happy or like, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's see. How's it changed me into... How's mommy life was the question?
Like juggling it. So you've got a busy life and career, and how do you juggle all of that?
Well, I have great family too.
That's good.
So most moms would know, that it's all about the help you also get, you know, while you need to go handle your business. Yeah. And I have my mom's so great. My aunt is so great. Them two are just my team.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's
it's good to know that you've got a team, especially strong women behind you. We all need that.
Exactly.
Okay. And what does your son think about having famous parents? Does he know?
Oh my God.
Like, I feel like that's the
starting
question
to
everyone
know.
Will know.
Yeah.
He's starting to know. Yeah. Wow. Tell me about that. That must be wild.
I grew up so humble, and I don't want my son to like, you know, not have that humble factor for sure. Yeah. And I never like let him really know the difference between him and his classmates or like anything like that. Yeah. So I think naturally, just because he's so like inquisitive and like he listens to everything and like now he's like, oh, pull up YouTube, pull up my daddy, pull up mommy.
So he knows.
And he's like looked at me one day and he's like, am I famous?
He actually asked you. I love that.
Yeah, he's like,
oh my God.
Am I famous?
And how do you react to that?
I'm like, well, you know.
I love that.
I think you are. But, and he was like, are you famous?
And what'd you say? You are?
I'm like, no. I was like, no. I was like, I used to model and things like that. I'm just normal. Wow. And I was like, your daddy's like, you know, in entertainment and he does music and movies and things like that. But, you know, it's like, that's his job. Like how a fireman would go to his job and like a mailman or things like that. But his job is on TV. So it makes him famous because a lot of people know him. Yeah. I don't want him to glamorize it so much that he gets lost in it because I'm from LA and like I know how lost the youth really gets in like this whole LA life. So yeah.
Does that worry you then?
Yeah, of course, but he's got me and his dad, so he's gonna be okay.
He's got a strong support system.
He's gonna be okay.
And how is co-parenting? What's your relationship now like with 50?
It's great. We're friends and at first it was like, you know, we were both like, okay, so how are we gonna do this? You know, but it works itself out. And I always like say that as long as your main priority is your child and like nothing else, like no personal things, then you're golden, you know? And it's worked for us so far and it's been great.
It's working now. And what do you think your son would like to be when he's older? Does he realize, you know, who 50 is?
He loves it. He loves
Does he know the
bragging about
music?
his dad. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
So would he sing
He's
the
like,
song?
For sure.
No, I love that.
For sure. That's my daddy. He was like, okay,
Wow.
play that. Press number 9. And he's like, candy shop. Take it to the candy shop.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and he was like, go shawty, it's your birthday. And he's in the car like, go shawty.
Oh my God. So he's a proper little character.
Yeah,
I mean, I
he
have
is.
seen him on Instagram and I'm like, wow, he is adorable.
Thank you. Yeah,
so
he's
he
so
fully
cute.
knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Totally knows. He
And
loves it.
You must travel a lot with your job, you know, going
Yeah.
around modelling. So what's it like? Do you have to leave him or do you get to take him with you, your son?
Sometimes I can take him, but sometimes it looks like I'm gone for like almost 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I mean, I can do like a month's worth of content in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the secret right there, isn't it? So you can
And,
kind of
like,
stretch it out.
where's Ruby? Ruby's here. She's like my photographer, travel buddy. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go.
Hold on. So Ruby is the girl behind the gram.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good. You're good at taking photos, Ruby. I mean, wow. How did you guys meet?
Actually,
Oh,
I
we've
found
got
her.
a funny story.
I found her on Google. Like, I was like, you know, hairstyle. I was like desperate for a hairstylist, and she wasn't too far. And like, I went into her salon, and I was like, I like her attitude. Like, she's like super like mild, like chill. She's a mom. She gets it, you know. And then I was like, you want to come to my house? So then she was like, yeah, sure. And coming to my house ended up being like twice a day, like every day,
Wow.
like do my hair, please, please, please. And I got addicted. So now it's like we're just here.
Just locked in. Your hair is actually something people talk about a lot because, I mean,
Really?
your hair's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
How do you keep it looking so incredible? Is it all Ruby?
Yeah. So Ruby's she's my blowout artist. Like, I absolutely love her styles, but the maintenance part is Alan M.
Okay.
Shout out to Alan.
Hey.
He does my color and my balayage, like the highlights and stuff like
yeah.
that. And then Tyron does my hair extensions. I've got like 2 packs in here.
You can't even tell. It looks
Yeah?
so natural.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
And he does my haircuts. So it's definitely a team behind.
You got the team there.
Yeah, the team is there.
Okay, and taking it back to your family.
Sure.
Do you plan on having more kids in the future?
I definitely want to.
Yeah.
I have this like weird feeling inside of me that like I just know it's not done yet.
Yeah.
I always joke with my family, like, I'm one and done, don't even ask. I'm one and done. Look at Sire, he's enough for all of us.
Oh.
But like there's definitely like some intuition inside that lets me know that I think I'm gonna have another one, but we'll see. I have to find a special person for that.
But having a relationship in the spotlight, kind of in LA as well. LA is like a wild place for relationships. How's your like past experience been trying to have a relationship in the public eye?
Well, me and my ex, 50, we definitely tried to keep our relationship as private as possible. And he was, you know, definitely one of my very high profile relationship.
Yeah.
But we did good with that. I feel like you can just enjoy each other more organically that way. And
Like
how do I feel about it?
How is it when somebody, like, let's say you and 50, somebody writes an article about you two that might not even be true. Or
Yeah.
somebody writes an article about you and somebody else, for instance. And you're like, I've not even met the dude. Like, that can happen.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that in the past?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I hate it. But it's okay. I mean, it comes with the territory, right? I mean, you see somebody who's high profile, it's going to come with the territory. They're going to write up about you regardless.
Yeah.
You can shout to the universe that that's not true, but whatever people will write, they're going to believe what they want to believe, you know? So it's tricky. It's tricky for sure. All my friends are like, why do you care so much? Like, just post whatever you want, like date whoever you want. Who cares if you get photographed, this and that? And I was just like, you guys can do that because you're probably not going to get plastered in the morning. Like, you know, like with all these comments and like, you know, and I was just like, and plus I'm a mom. Like, I'm cool. Like, I got to just watch myself a little bit more, you know?
Have you ever experienced that, like getting comments, whether it be on Instagram or, you know, in the press, where you're just...
Yes, definitely. Cyberbullying is a thing. And if anyone's doing that, you guys should stop.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's the same thing as being bullied in high school. But then it's like, I take it as like, it's the internet. Like, it's the internet world. When I take my eyes off my phone, this world does not exist. It doesn't affect me in my own personal life. And I feel like if you can separate yourself from that, it won't affect you. But then shout out to everyone who is super positive. Yeah. You know, and super supportive. And I love those. And it's okay. You know, I have thick skin.
And what advice would you give to anyone who might be struggling with, whether it be hate online or people talking about them?
I would just advise them that it's like a false world, you know, like just do you, like live your life, be happy, do whatever makes you happy. And like, if you continue doing that, like what can they do? What can they say, you know? And another thing that I love is like, those people aren't paying your bills. Like just exactly, do you, girl, you know? Exactly. Yeah, like their opinions do not matter at all. Just keep rocking out, being fabulous. Who cares?
That's it, you do you.
Yeah.
So I've got a nice question for you.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to know what your answer is going to be, and I think our listeners will be excited too. I love it when you just don't know what I'm going to say. It's a nice one, I promise you. Can you tell us, it might put you on the spot.
Okay.
Can you tell us one thing that people might not know about you?
One thing they might not know about me. I'm a pretty good cook.
Okay. What's your specialty? I'm coming around for dinner.
I know. Everything. It's weird. I can get a recipe book and I can cook like everything.
Do you think that's ever something you'd like look to do in the future? Like, imagine Daphne Joy cooking on Instagram. Like, I would cook along with you.
Imagine me in the front of a cookbook page. You're gonna be like, I knew it. I knew she was gonna do that.
That would be a good cookbook page. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm a pretty good cook. And what else?
What type of food do you like eating? Like, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Everything. I am a foodie to the max. I have like no.
What about if you only had like, what's that thing you say? Like, if you have one meal. If you can only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
For the rest of my life? Oh my God.
So you've got to really like it. And you can't think about, you know, your body, like what you'll do. Like, I'd probably say mac and cheese. I mean, we all know how I'd end up. But I'd end up turning into a cheese block, a block of cheese.
Definitely. I don't know, maybe like pho.
Okay. Yeah.
Soup.
Nice.
It's like chicken inside.
Healthy.
Noodles. Broth.
Like a ramen. Is that like a ramen?
Yeah, exactly.
I love ramen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. We know that now, guys. Everybody knows. And with everything that you've been doing, you know, you're modeling, you're killing the game on Instagram. What's coming next for you in the future? What are you working on?
I just want to keep designing, honestly. I'm having so much fun with it. And just being a part of that world. I don't even care if it like becomes huge or anything. I'm just it's like fulfilling like a passion of mine. Yeah. To like draw my product, see samples, and then see it come to life. I'm like, oh, this is so fulfilling. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really creative. Like, I love all that stuff. So
where did that creativity come from?
Since I was young, I've just been drawing.
Really?
And then like, even like, you know, when I wear like PrettyLittleThing items, like I really do take my time. Like when you saw me walk in, like the actual dress I was wearing. Yeah. It takes me like hours to choose like my selections of like what I want to rock. And you know,
really thinking about it. I love that.
Support the brand, but also make sure I look really good wearing it.
Well, you always do. It's safe to say you always do. And okay, to kind of end this podcast, I want to know, what is your one quote or saying to live by?
Oh my God, I have so many. It's just like, okay, like one, I used to have it a long time, like on my Insta, it was like in my biography, it was, your energy introduces you before your words do.
So true.
Yeah.
Your energy is wonderful.
Thank you. Yours too.
I feel like we've got a moment right now, guys.
So I feel like just within that context is like, it generally just means like trust your gut instincts, like trust your intuition, like, you know, go by your feeling, and like your first answer is usually the right one. If your brain says go right, but then your other brain says go left, like just go with the first thing. Yeah. Just go right, and it's usually like the best thing,
isn't it?
Oh, and then the other one that I've been really preaching is,
come on, I'm ready.
Everything happens in divine order. Oh, it's a little bit, you know, religious, but
I like that.
It's true, because everything that's been happening to me as of lately is happening at the right times, and I get like a little joy out of it, because I'm like, I was meant to be here at this moment in this time. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's like a little guide guiding me in the right direction. So don't be down on yourself if things don't pan out the way that you expect, you know, foresaw it to go, because it was probably not meant for you, and there's bigger and better happening. So, or being, you know, waiting for you. Yeah. For sure.
Well, what a lovely note to end the podcast on.
Yeah.
Daphne, it's been amazing having you here, honestly.
Thank you.
Thank you for opening up and letting us get to know you on the podcast.
Thanks.
And I hope to see you soon. And
Thank
you
you
to everybody for listening. If you have enjoyed Daphne's episode, please make sure to subscribe and leave a review.
Yay.
This has been PLT Behind Closed Doors, and we will see you next week.